So here's the thing. Samsung's next big flagship drop isn't as far away as everyone thought, and after months of mixed signals, the leaks have finally stopped playing mind games. We now have a pretty tight window for when the Galaxy S26 series is actually landing. And yeah, the timeline is a lot cleaner than the early chaos suggested. A while back, people were saying the S26 might slip all the way to March 2026, which sounded wild, but now the most credible insiders are pointing to a much more normal launch rhythm. Right now, the strongest hints say Samsung is gearing up for a late January 2026 announcement in Korea. If that sticks, pre-orders should start shipping somewhere around mid-February, which is pretty much Samsung getting back into its usual groove. To put it into perspective, the S25 lineup dropped on January 22nd, with sales starting in early February. And since January 22nd, 2026 falls on a Thursday, Samsung might push the event to the following week, likely the 27th, 28th, or 29th. If they go that route, the phones could start hitting shelves as early as February 10th. Way better than the whole March delay panic that earlier leaks threw at us. There was even a rumor about a late February event in San Francisco, but that's looking less likely now, given the newer, much stronger info. Now, the lineup itself was another topic people got confused about. There was this odd rumor that Samsung might rename the base model to S26 Pro. Yeah, that's gone. So the trio is staying exactly how you expect. Galaxy S26, S26 Plus, and S26 Ultra. What's missing from the party is the S26 Edge. The S25 Edge already had a delayed and messy launch, and this year's model might follow the same released later pattern, or might not launch at all if the sales numbers didn't impress Samsung. Some leakers think it's still coming, just not with the main lineup. Others say it's quietly getting canned. Classic Samsung chaos. As for upgrades, this is where things get interesting in a don't expect too much kind of way. The regular S26 is rumored to get a slightly bigger 4,300 mAh battery, faster wireless charging, and support for CH2. Both the S26 and S26 Plus might get a refreshed design, with Samsung experimenting with a new camera layout. And yes, the chip split is back on the table. Exynos 2600 for some markets, Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 for others. Not shocking, but definitely something people will have opinions about. Camera improvements, mostly small stuff. The biggest noticeable upgrade could be a new telephoto sensor to boost low-light zoom. The real story this year might actually be Samsung's AI push. New generative AI features, maybe new partnerships, basically Samsung trying to flex in the post-Galaxy AI world. But for now, the details are still foggy. And of course, the most hyped member of the family, the S26 Ultra. Based on what's leaked so far, this thing is shaping up to be the inevitable Ultra does Ultra things device. We're talking a 6.9-inch QHD plus AMOLED panel, 120Hz adaptive refresh, and upgraded anti-reflective glass with Samsung's new Flex Magic tech. Most regions will get the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 for Galaxy, though Exynos might still show up in a few places. RAM is expected at 12 or 16 gigs, and storage options should go from 256 gigabytes all the way to 1 terabyte, using UFS 4.0 or maybe a small bump to 4.1. The rear camera setup sticks with 4 sensors: a 200-megapixel main with a bright f1.4 lens, a 50-megapixel ultra-wide, a 12-megapixel 3x telephoto, and a 50-megapixel 5x periscope. Selfie camera stays simple at 12 megapixels. Battery might hold steady at 5,000 mAh, but there are whispers of a bump to 5,400 mAh. Charging is where Samsung might finally relax the brakes. We could see 60-watt wired charging, up from their usual 45 watts. Wireless charging is still expected to sit at 25 watts with reverse wireless staying put. And as you'd expect, the Ultra should ship with Android 16 and One UI 8.5 right out of the box. And yeah, that's where the S26 story stands right now. As we get closer to January, the leaks are only going to get juicier, so if you want to stay ahead of everyone else, you know what to do. I'll be keeping an eye on it all and breaking it down the moment new info drops. Catch you in the next one.